Hey, what is up 5'9" gamers? Welcome back to another video. Today, we're going to talk about stuff that we think can improve the game. There has been a lot of negativity around Dragon Ball Legends lately with a lot of controversy in different communities. And we just want to bring like a constructive, positive spin of what we think can improve the game. So each of our creators is going to talk about one aspect that they think can help make the game better in the long term. So we hope that Toshi, you're listening. But even if you're not, everybody who's here, just let us know in the comments down below what you think is the single biggest aspect that can improve the game for you. I'm gonna get us started. And the topic that I have picked for myself is one that I've talked about in one of my videos before. So let me just quickly go up and open that up in the game. And that is customizable friend battles. They made a little bit of a start by adding that little LBR button here where you can fight out in maxed stats, 14 stars and fully soul boosted. But I think that they can go further with this and make it even better. There is a huge tournament scene still in Dragon Ball Legends, which is not really officially backed by either the game or any official site. So what I see here is stuff like, hey, I want to play this battle without Rising Rush because it happened to me. You play a match in your clan and the rules are no Rising Rush, no feint. So if you feint, you shoot a tap blast and then you just fat finger your Rising Rush. You have to forfeit the match and basically lose one of your best of three, which is really annoying, or you just want to try stuff out, right? So that I think is the single biggest thing because I have fat fingers, I need that. The next thing that I would like to be able to customize is having infinite HP and a customizable timer count. So if you want to just do movement training, you don't want your characters to die and then having to restart the battle, but just train, I don't know, 20 minutes straight with your friend, and once you're done, you just forfeit. I think that would be great. Or you could even say, okay, instead of having 180 counts, I want 250 counts, I want just 60 counts, I want a speed match, want to see if I can beat that tanky region team with my super offensive team in under 100 counts or something, and if not, you know, then the time just runs out. That would be great. I also want to be able to customize abnormal conditions individually. So if I want, you know, as I said earlier, you play no Rising Rush, no feint. Why not deactivate feint? Why not deactivate paralysis? Poison, okay, whatever, you know, can just say, okay, we play with poison, we play with bleed, but we play without paralysis, we play without feint, just to make it less RNG. And I think what would be really great if the connection is good enough is allow 1 or 2 spectators. Again, for the tournament scene, that would be huge because the referee could then just, you know, join the match and watch and see that everything is going right, that there is no, I don't know, foul play, or they can see, okay, this player was clearly winning when the match disconnected, maybe something happened here. So that would be great, but I think that's another layer of complexity. But what would really put the cherry on top for me would be if you could have something like a multi-lobby where you invite 8 players, 16 players, and then you create a tournament bracket out of there and then just send the players in their respective lobbies, let them fight it out. The game puts the result in there. You can say, okay, this is a best of 3. These are the rules. So for every of the lobbies that you create out of that multi-lobby, the rules apply without Rising Rush, without feint, whatever you want to do. And when they come back, the match score is automatically updated. You know, the player moves on in the bracket. So it's a lot easier than having, I don't know, using challenge or, I don't know, using Facebook to communicate, which a lot of people do, which for me is a huge turnoff for the tournament scene, to be honest, because, well, Facebook. But I think that could be its own other topic. So I think I talked enough. I'm going to hand it over to the next creator. And I'm curious to see what you guys have to say. Enjoy the rest of the video and take care.
Yo 5'9" Gaming, what's going on? It is your boy ZVG here, coming at you guys with a PvP topic to talk about in this Letter to the Devs video. Now, if you guys don't know, I mainly play PvP, and I feel as though we can all relate to the fact that Legends PvP has been stale for a very long time, in the sense that it's the same old formula: reset the season to BR 35, grind to BR 50, get top 10k, get a 1k CC, and rinse and repeat for the past 2 years or so. So what I would like them to do is add more modes to PvP, or add something like special rules. So say for instance, like no green cards can be used in the match, or no blue cards can be used, no main abilities, stuff like you have to run a hero unit on your team, not Charlotte, right? You gotta run an extreme unit on your team, something of that sort. to let PvP feel fresh again, right? Because previously they had the ultimate battle one time and they never brought it back for whatever reason. So I feel as though they have to make PvP not stale anymore by bringing in new modes, new rules, or anything of that sort to let it feel fresh again. Now I will say that they have increased the rewards by giving us Z power and whatever, so that is a good sign, but just keep it fresh a bit, right, legends? Please and thank you. And other than that, I'm going to talk about a replay option for PvP. Now, a replay option would be fantastic. Something like in Fighter Z, where you can fight somebody, and if you select a rematch and they select a rematch, you guys will rematch against each other, right? I would love that in Legends, honestly, because there's a lot of fights where I'm like, okay, I want to run it back with this dude. Like, I want to do this again. I got to fight this dude again. Like, he was a good player. I want to fight him again and whatever. And that'd be pretty awesome if I do say so myself. And the last thing that I'm going to talk about is showing us the connection of our opponents before we head off into a PvP match. Now, as you all know, we all hate lag. I don't think there's any person in the world who likes lag. And if we could see the connection of the opponent we're going up against before we head off into PvP, we could like say, nah, we don't want to fight this guy or whatever. I think they have something similar in Fighter Z, I'm not sure. But that'd be a pretty good option to have, because like no one likes lag and we just want smooth connection and great fights. And that's pretty much all I gotta say about my personal topic to learn to the devs. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it and you guys can see where I'm coming from with this, and hopefully you guys like the points that I made. And yeah, so I'll be passing it on to the next content creator in this video. This is ZVG and I'm out.
Hey, what's up? 5man Gaming, Tom FPS here. Since we're all talking about ways to improve the game, I'm gonna be the one that talks about the PvP queue system. I'm gonna try to make it simple and short and understandable, and maybe come up with a solution. If you guys have any more suggestions for that issue, feel free to comment that. I'm gonna read the comments definitely. So let me try to explain this. Let's say for example, you have 12.8 KRP. And you want to keep queuing and keep fighting and probably end in a high rank or even number 1 at the end. You're not allowed to, because you can only fight people that are 11.2k and above. So that doesn't sound too bad, but the current issue is that a lot of people are dipping out at top 1k, top 10k, which equals to 8 to 10k RP. So that means you don't fight the majority of the players that are actually playing in your region, which leaves you with only the few selected ones, quote unquote selected ones, that are looking for a challenge, looking to improve, looking to whatever. So how could we fix that issue? One solution would be, let's say you're queuing for 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes. You reduce the required RP for your opponent every time you hit that certain timer goal. Let's say you queue 5 minutes, you reduce it by 200, which means you were usually only able to fight 11.2 and above. After 5 minutes, 11k, after another 5 minutes, 10.8, and so on and so forth. That means you still have a somewhat bad queue, but it's reasonable and you can get some fights in. Another solution would be to give the player base more incentive to push further than top 1k, top 10k. I know that means there's gonna be more cheaters, more draw hacks, more laggers, whatever. But that would also be a way, if Bandai managed to fix to catch those cheaters, at least at the end of the season, for those that were actually trying to get matches. I mean, I can show you right now. I'm rank 30, 13.3 KRP. I hit the PvP button and I'm staring at this. I'm staring at this. I've been staring at this over the duration of 5-hour streams, and I've been getting 5 to 6 fights with always the same people I fight every day, because these people decide to actually grind. I think the big difference between us, NA, EU, whatever, and Japan is looking for the grind. Do you see this? Do you see this? 15.5 KRP. Do you know how long I would have to search for to get that RP? I would have to search for, I don't even know, 2 weeks, 2 weeks from now on, 2 weeks from now on, and win every single game. The difference between us and JP is more dedicated, I guess. They have more people that play this game, that are more involved with this game. And as I said, in the second solution, if we've managed to find a way to get more incentive for the players to actually push even further, I think that would be a nice solution to fix the actual current PvP queue system we have right now. But with that said, leave your suggestions if you have anything else, and I'm gonna be watching out for them. I'm gonna pass over to my fellow content creator who's gonna talk about another issue, another way to improve the game to make it better. I'm gonna peace out. Bye bye.
Alrighty, thank you. So I would say like one of my biggest grievances with the game, or rather one of my biggest issues with the game, is kind of like the PvP system alongside like the queues and stuff like that. I don't know if you guys have had similar experiences. I'm definitely curious as to what you guys have to say about this as well. But before hitting battle rank 50, I do notice that you kind of get that kind of like trend of just going against bots or just going against AIs over and over again. And I mean sometimes it's all right? Sometimes it's just like, okay, this is like free points to go ahead and just push me to battle rank 50. But for me, it's just like sometimes when I'm recording videos, especially when I'm recording videos actually, is that when I'm just getting hit with bot after bot after bot, it feels extremely like discouraging to me, and it just feels like it just puts a damper on my mood. I'm not gonna lie. Like I really do feel like if I wanted to go against an AI, if I wanted to go against a bot, then I would have just played co-op. I would have just played co-op. I would have just played some PvE, did some events, did some casual stuff, right? I'm not gonna go ahead and hop into PvP. I'm not gonna go ahead and click on the ranked icon or the competitive icon and go ahead and just be like, please let me go ahead and get matched up against a bot. That's the last thing that I want. And so on a more positive note, I think a good thing that they could actually implement into the game to go ahead and correct this or kind of just alleviate this issue that I'm having is if they had like some filters. Like it would be so nice if I could just open up PvP, or if I can just open up like the app and go into PvP, and there's like some boxes, like a little filtered like checklist, like say like there's a little box that says I do not wish to be placed against AIs, right? And then like a little disclaimer under it saying that this may result in longer queues. That's fine, right? I'm more than willing to go ahead and take the hits for longer queues than to go ahead and just constantly be going against bots, because sometimes you'll be going against bots and then you'll finally get matched up with the real person. And then even when you get matched up with the real person, sometimes the connection with your opponent might just be extremely unstable. So it's just, you still end up not having a good experience ultimately, right? And that's kind of like one of the worst feelings in the world, because I really feel like we can go back to like the little filter check option, is that it could also have a little a box or a little checkoff mark where I could just basically go ahead and say, hey, like this is the connection that you prefer. Like I would prefer to go ahead and be matched up with someone of equal connection or stronger, or of just a decent connection, or like just anything goes, doesn't matter what connection, right? Because I can still respect the fact that some people are going to want to go ahead and look through these filter options, and they're going to go ahead and want to choose the fastest options, right? I can understand that. Definitely some people that just want to hop into PvP and immediately get into a match. I can definitely understand that, but that's why where the filters would go ahead and they would help everyone. They'd help everyone win, right? Because for me, I would personally rather wait in a longer queue in order to get a quality match rather than someone that's just maybe in a rush, that's just trying to play on some downtime or whatever, who just wants to go ahead and just get in and out in terms of like just finding an opponent and taking off. That's okay too. So, and I really feel like they really hit the nail on the head with that with Dragon Ball FighterZ, because you actually do have some filter selections with Dragon Ball FighterZ to do that, right? And so I would definitely love to see something like that be implemented within Legends. So I'm gonna go ahead and pass this on to the next creator. Definitely let me know what you guys think about this. What do you guys think about like a little filter selection?
Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Swift, and today I would like to discuss one thing that I think that the developers could do to help improve the game and overall just make it a friendlier, better place, and that is equipment. Now, I have a couple things I want to talk about when it comes to equipment. First thing being for new players. If you're a brand new player, you have a limited amount of resources. You have a limited amount of chrono crystals. You can't be constantly re-rolling your equipment, trying to get that Z or even trying to get that S sometimes. You got to be saving your chrono crystals for summons and Zenkai units and stuff like that. You can't be constantly re-rolling equipment. And that's sad. It shouldn't be like that. As a brand new player, you shouldn't have to decide between re-rolling an equip or summoning. There should be some other methods to be able to get some good equipment. In my personal opinion, I don't think re-rolling equipment should cost chrono crystals at all. I'm cool with slot removers, but they need to make them more available. Slot removers are like incredibly valuable right now. They're hard to get. They're expensive wherever you buy them. It kind of gets ridiculous. One thing that I do like is when they give out PvP equips. PvP equips are usually pretty good, and you can sometimes get lucky like I just did. And if I didn't get this equip in PvP, I probably wouldn't have gotten the Z. So that's definitely a positive thing that they're doing. But yeah, I mean, I look back when I was a brand new player and we got this out of the way equipment, and I'm looking at it like, what is this? What does it do? How do I get more? How do I upgrade it? I had so many unanswered questions. I didn't really understand how the equipment system even worked. I basically had to experiment and learn through trial and error. And, I guarantee I wasted tons of my resources learning that way. Speaking of wasting resources, that brings me to my next topic, awakened equipment. I think we can all agree that awakening equipment sucks. It's a pain in the butt. But the main thing that I wish that they would change about it is the fact that it costs rush metal. Back before they updated the rush metal shop with all the Zenkai souls and stuff like that, it didn't really matter because, you had a huge surplus of rush metal. So you could get as many, awakened memories as you want. But now that all the Zenkai souls are in here and the LF Zenkais are in here, you don't want to waste your rush metal on awakening equipment. So that's definitely something that I think they need to, touch on and fix, hopefully. Maybe they come out with some type of separate currency for specifically awakening equipment. I don't know, but I definitely don't like the fact that, if you have a specific amount of rush metal, you have to sit there and choose between, am I going to finish soul boosting this unit, or am I going to re-roll this awakened equipment? So hopefully that can get updated in the future. The last thing I want to talk about is slot removers. I think slot removers need to be more available. They are definitely a pretty rare commodity. And it's sad because you need them. Unless you want to waste your chrono crystals re-rolling equipment, you need those slot removers. So I just think they need to make them more available in general. Maybe you get a slot remover for every other PvP match you win, or maybe they drop slot removers in co-op to encourage people to play co-op. They have a lot of options to expand on this. Maybe one day I would like to see a super rare slot remover that maybe lets you remove and re-roll that first slot. That'd be awesome, and I think that'd make the entire fan base happy. But anyways, in conclusion, these are some of the things that I think Legends developers could maybe fix in the future, and I'm going to go ahead and pass it off to the next guy. Peace.
Hey guys, what's going on? My name is Sherwood, and I am going to be giving my concerns or opinions or whatever, basically a note to the devs, basically addressing some stuff that I would personally, and I think I can speak on the community's behalf, just on things that I would like to get changed. But since I'm short on time today and I don't want to keep you guys for too long, I'm just going to jump straight into it. And what I'm going to be covering today and talking about is actually the exchange shop, and I'm also going to be briefly going over two aspects of the exchange shop, which is going to be the dual coins and the rush metals. So going to the exchange shop here, even like not even just going into it right away, but just the discovery of the exchange shop, mainly towards beginner players. So I have someone that just started Legends, and like they were playing for about a month straight and they didn't even know that the exchange shop existed. I think the UI should have an adjustment to make the exchange shop more visible and more accessible. Just, like I understand that the exchange shop is, listed above events and stuff, but I just think a little UI icon. I think the exchange shop is worthy enough to have, one of these nice little orange squares right here, you know what I'm saying? So going straight into it again, I don't know why I clicked exchange shop twice, but you know what I'm saying, it's all good. I think this needs to get condensed. There's way too many shops going on. It's so cluttered. It's a lot of these currencies just aren't even relevant anymore. For example, let's see here, Soul exchange medals, they're relevant, but they don't give them out that frequently. Super chrono crystals you can only get if you pay, but I'm mainly talking about the rare metals and the platinum coins. These two currencies alone, it's just like, I just don't understand why there has to be this many shops. Like, if you are a new player, these amount of shops can be very overwhelming. So my suggestion would be maybe condense all of these down, or simply just remove them, you know, like simply just get rid of them. Like the whole platinum coin thing, it's like, oh thanks man, I got a platinum coin for spending 100 energy. I guess I'll get 30 energy back with that platinum coin, you know? Like I say just get rid of it, man, honestly, in my opinion about that. But maybe just have a metal shop for the tickets. Maybe just have a ticket shop, but I guess there's not many tickets. But you know what I mean? Like, I guess for the adventure ones too, just put them in the one category. I don't really know a direct fix to this. It's just a general concern of mine. But again, running out of time here. I'm a little staller, so going into the rush metals and dual coins super quick. I think that dual coins and rush metals should be farmable, not to the extent of, you know, clearing out the shop, right? Because like, no, you shouldn't be able to clear out the shop every 2 to 3 weeks when a new raid boss comes out. For example, this is my main issue with this. So when you get dual coins, or when you grind dual coins, you basically have to dedicate yourself to one item only. And that's usually Z Power, Zenkai Souls, or Chrono Crystals. I don't think anyone gets the crystals, to be honest. Maybe free-to-play players, but I don't think anybody spends 1,500 for 100 crystals, personally. And the fact that you only get 3 dual coins, like 3 to 4 dual coins per run, like in consideration or in comparison to 130 every day, daily, that's just, I don't know, man. In my personal opinion, I would like to see an increase, not a huge increase, but maybe after you do your 3 dailies in co-op, you can maybe get about 15 to 25, maybe 15 to 22, depending on what difficulty you do of the co-op. And rush metals, I think you should just be able to farm that, because when a new Zenkai comes out, for example, like this Piccolo, and you have to choose between Zenkai Souls or Piccolo, it's like, I don't know, man, it sucks, because now you have to focus on either this or this. And I guess to sum it up before I throw this to the next creator is that I want the exchange shop to be more condensed, more identifiable, and just more transverse, you know, like more accessibility, you know? I don't want to be restricted to one item. I want to be able to get a lot of items, you know, a little bit of each. So thanks for hearing me out. Sorry it was lengthy, and I will pass this on to the next creator.
Hey guys, Goresh here, and in my portion of this letter to the devs video, I'm going to be discussing the issues that I have, and that a lot of other people I've heard have, with PvE in this game. And I'm one of the people that obviously does a lot more content focused around PvP, so I know a lot of the problems that PvP has, but really thinking about what I wanted the devs to know from my portion of this video, and something that I think is probably the most important thing that they look into changing or updating or something, is PvE. Now, obviously PvP has its fair share of issues, but I think, you know, when it comes down to, you know, what part of the game needs to be changed right now, I think PvE is in a much worse off position, believe it or not, than PvP is. And the reason is the following. In PvP, a lot of the reasons why people don't really enjoy that mode is because of the fact that a lot of times it doesn't, like, people don't enjoy it because it doesn't work as intended. And what I mean by that is either there's like some lag going on and people don't like that, there's some unbalance in terms of the meta going on, which is not something that they intend to happen. Maybe the matchmaking isn't up to what you think is fair. Like maybe you're fighting somebody with a team that you just really can't beat, or, you know, you're fighting a player who's just way better than you that you shouldn't be fighting against. So maybe it's one of those factors, but none of those things really are things that the devs are like, okay, yeah, we want this to happen. This is how we intended the mode to be. So that's how PvP, that's generally why people feel upset about PvP, is because it's not working as intended, or it's not working as it should be working. With PvE, I feel like even if PvE is working as intended, which, you know, most of the times you're not going to run into any technical issues with PvE because it's all server based and you're fighting against a bot without any connection involved. Balance is rarely going to be an issue with PvE. Back in the day, you had those pretty difficult events. I remember like the full power freezer one comes to mind, where it was pretty hard to do. But you know, with PvE, you hardly ever run into any issues where things happen that aren't intended. So I feel like, you know, even when things are going perfectly as intended, but you know, the way the devs programmed everything is working fully operational, people still don't enjoy PvE. And that's the big difference to me when it comes to PvP versus PvE, in that, you know, even when working as intended, which again, 98% of the time it does work as intended, it's just not fun. It's just not enjoyable to play PvE in this game. And a lot of that, in my opinion, comes down to the fact that the way the AI behaves and the way the AI interacts with the players, it's just very monotonous and it's very predictable. At this point, after 2.5 years, it's pretty much been the same patterns every time, the same fighting style, everything is the same. So after a while, you know, you become accustomed to how they fight, and you can sort of predict and easily overcome any obstacle that they put in front of you, no matter how quote-unquote difficult they make it. So it's really difficult to actually pinpoint a solution to this issue. And again, I don't really know how they could fix this because I'm not a programmer. I don't know how difficult it is to, I guess, balance PvE in this game. But I guess something that I was thinking to myself, and again, I don't know how feasible or possible this actually is, but what if they created some sort of new difficulty where instead of it just being like a set difficulty, like you have normal, hard mode, and then like Scream and Despair, whatever they are right now in the game, I think those are the 4 difficulties. What if they did something where it was like they somehow code the AI to play like a human does? So maybe, I don't know, some player sits down and they record like 100 matches, and the AI would be able to, you know, analyze how the player is playing the game, and then they try and mimic that play style themselves as the AI. Again, for a game like Legends, I don't know how feasible that actually is to replicate, but I think that would be a decent way to sort of fix the issue with PvE and it being too monotonous and repetitive. You know, the same AI playstyle every single time. So for me, that's pretty much what I would hope to see soon in the game's future, because I think, you know, even though PvP again does have its fair share of issues, I feel like right now PvE really needs something new to spice it up. And just as an aside, I am recording this portion before we get the new mode into the game, before we have any information at all about the new mode. So hopefully that does spice things up a bit. But as for my portion of the video, that is it, and I will leave it to the next person to pick things up.
And there you have it. Those are our letters to the devs, our aspects that we want to improve the game in order to make it more fun. Now let us know what you think, which single aspect would make the game more enjoyable for you down in the comments. Make sure that you kind of frame it in a positive way, so I think this could improve it. And follow us all over the place. We are on Twitter, Twitch, here on YouTube, of course. We have a link tree where you can find all our social medias, like our Discord, our Reddit as well. And with that said, we hope that you enjoyed this video. Leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you all in the next ones. Bye, everybody.